Good afternoon, folks, and happy Monday. Today is going to be day 67 working down here at the ranch. I hope. I got my carport put up. Got a little shelter there for the tractor. I'm probably going to end up putting my picnic table under there at some point in time. We got a little bit of rain yesterday. I didn't think it was that much, but I do have a couple pretty decent sized puddles out here. But we're gonna take a walk back here. I was out here when they were doing the carport here. Yeah, it's pretty wet. We'll go back here and see what it looks like, but I did get this corner opened up. I was really hoping to get back up in there today. But we might have got a little bit more rain than I expected. Let's go take a look. It does feel just a little bit soft back here. I didn't have too much trouble getting the truck on the clay pad, so that's good. But I got a feeling it might be a little more wet back here. This isn't looking too bad. I think it probably would be a good idea to get some sort of a winch or something on my tractor. But I got this corner cleaned out the other day. Here's what that's pretty soft. I don't know if we want to. There's a chance of rain today, but it's only like 5%, which means it'll probably pour down rain. But I got back all the way to here and kind of started my journey this way. I went ahead and got one of our trail cams set up there. Boy, I don't know. It's not terrible. We may give it a try. I'll just go nice and easy. The problem is, it seems like it's a little bit low in some of these areas. But I'm kind of hoping I can get in here, knock down some of these trees, get them out of the way, get this whole area brush hogged up, and then start digging some dirt out of here. Let me get this thing out of the way. There's still just, again, back to the same thing, a bunch of big trees in here. But you know, eventually I would open it up a little bit bigger so that I had room to get in here and really move around, and maybe eventually poke over to the other side. But I'm just looking at some of these tracks. We've had, not necessarily down here, more up where I live, we've had a lot of bears running through neighborhoods in the last couple of weeks. I've probably seen about 6 videos of bears running around in neighborhoods, so they seem to be out and moving around a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, folks. It's soft. I think it's probably dry enough that I could actually get back here. My concern would be, can I get back here with a bucket of dirt and not have any problems? Would be the question. This was pretty soft the other day, even though it didn't really feel like it. But I don't know. If we don't make it back here, then I'm probably going to do some weed eating around the camp area. kind of get that taken care of. I brought my Sawzall, so I may actually cut up some stumps that are in the ground, some sticks that are kind of down in the ground. But now that the 4th of July is over, yeah, there we go. Sorry, folks. Now that the 4th of July is over, I'm going to be able to spend a little more time down here on the weekends for sure, but even in the afternoons. But I mean, again, they're calling for rain just about every day this week, which they did last week, and I think we got one day of rain, and then we got a little bit yesterday. So I was going to try to come down yesterday, and that didn't quite work out. So let me think on this. I may start slowly moving my way back there with the tractor and just see how I'm feeling. I think if I feel comfortable, we're going to try to clear out that little area back there today. And then maybe I'll just try to do it without any dirt for right now. We'll see what happens. Here we go. I was actually pretty shocked how easily it was to get back here. That's definitely a good start. I brought in quite a bit of dirt the other day, so much so that I feel like I really need to be able to get back here and get some dirt, because I've said it already, we are just about out of dirt. All right, so far so good. It's a little bit soft, but not bad. I tried to go ahead and keep the bucket out front there as low as I could. That way, just in case there was some sort of stump in there, it wouldn't get caught up in the brush hog. All right, let's see if we can get this fired up. And it seemed like almost immediately I realized there was going to be a little bit of a problem with this tree on the right here. And then I get tangled up on this tree on the left here. When I very first walked back to this area a few days ago, it's when I kind of decided this was the little area I wanted to go ahead and clear out. See if I could get it opened up with the old brush hog. Didn't look like too much but a couple of scrawny pine trees, a little bit of shrubbage back there. Nothing at all, I felt like. And I'm telling you, I think this little area fought me tooth and nail almost from the time we got in here. It seemed like just about every little path I tried to take, thinking I could push on through there and kind of get a big opening opened up, there would be a tree in the way that just did not quite want to work with me. I was able to push on in there a little bit and get the brush hog to open it up. There's a bit of a hill. I got attacked by this tree on the left here, so I decided I needed to go ahead and see if I could get rid of it, because it was pretty much a problem right off the bat. And the reality is, I was able to pop it right up out of there, push it on over to the other side, get it on out of the way, and I thought that I was in serious business. Well, and then I went to go and push this tree. And I don't know if you noticed, but my bucket kind of popped up. So I tried to give it another go and it kind of pops up again. This little tree right here, like, I believe one of the smaller of the group, tore up a big chunk of real estate, folks. A very big chunk of real estate. And it was already starting to become a problem. So if you couldn't tell, I was looking at it like, oh my goodness, that little tree popped all that up. So I said to myself, okay, I'll come over here to the right. I'll try to get in behind it. So I'll try to push this other little bitty tree out of the way. And as you can see, I'm already kind of jammed in there. But I try to give this one another push. And I'm pretty much getting the same problem. This tree right here was my second biggest problem of the day so far back here. So if at first you don't succeed, try again. So I did. I tried again. And I think I tried again. And I think I even tried one more time. And this thing would not pop out of the ground for nothing. So I decided to get a better look at it and see if I could figure out what was going on exactly.
That's like all tied in, I think, with that big tree right there.
So then I decide I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to push on this one a little bit more. Surely by now it's ready to give up. It's ready to submit and let me go ahead and pop it up out of the ground there. And when I realized it wasn't, I decided to go ahead and back on out of there, folks.
Well, kind of running into a little bit of a problem back here. Mostly these trees. That's not terrible. I should be able to get this one out of the way. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to put this at? We'll put it right here for right now. I'll grab it on the way back. It's a little bit muddy in here, but it doesn't seem bad. This whole thing, I think, is tied into this tree, and it does not want to go anywhere. Then I've got all these roots right here towards the top of the ground that are kind of fighting me a little bit. I was trying to kind of get this tree pushed out of the way like I did that one, but I'm just kind of making a dirt pile here, which is okay. I need dirt, but whoa, heads up. But I was kind of hoping to get in here, get this whole area opened up, because if I start digging dirt right here, I can't get back farther that way very easily. But this thing is just, I think it's still in the ground after all that pushing I did. There we go. But this is a big root, big stump that pulled right out of there. So I don't know, I may have to come in here and cut that out. We'll see what happens. Get these over here to the burn pile some way or another. Come on. Oh, what is on my head? Ah, oh, it's a branch. So I kind of wanted to go this way, which I can, but I don't know how well you can see it. That is a huge tree stump, and it's running right along the top of the ground. So I'm gonna have to cut that out. I don't know, it's a mess back here for sure. But I'd like to get the brush hog in here. I may just have to wait until my part comes in for my DR Pro. Then come back here with the smaller one and get all this cleaned up.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to regroup and think of another plan. I've got a tooth blade on the way. I think everything, because of the holidays, just got slowed down, but might be here by the end of the week. The biggest problem is I need to get in there farther in that little area, because if I just start kind of digging dirt out right there, then I'm not going to be able to get past it. So I'm going to probably wait and see if I can get the old tooth bar out here, and hopefully it'll cut through a majority of the root system, and then try to get a little bit deeper down and get some good dirt out of the ground. But it's just fighting me. There's so many roots, and so many big roots sticking up there. So I should say hanging out towards the top. Got a pretty nice little breeze going right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab the weed eater. It's not gonna be as bad as it's been in the past, but you know, like this grass right here, like I'm tempted to just let it keep growing, and then eventually I'll knock it down. But I'm hoping, I may have said this on my last video, but I'm hoping to basically turn this right here into like a parking area and a place to come in here and just turn right back around. As you can see, it's really wet right there. I feel like certain parts got a whole bunch of rain, and then other parts didn't get much at all. I think I'm gonna weed eat here for about 45 minutes or so, however long it takes me to get that done, this little area over here. But then we might take the tractor and go poke and prod over into this area a little bit. Again, my concern is that I'm gonna run into a puddle like this somewhere in there and get sunk a little bit. But it did all right back there. I didn't really have any problems. It sank down a little bit, but mostly when I was trying to pop them trees up out of the ground. But here we go. Let's get the weed eater out. Woohoo. Well, if you could not tell, I was not very enthusiastic about getting out here and weed eating, folks. It's about 190 freaking degrees outside, and I'd already been back in the back 40 out there, wrestling around with tree stumps and tree roots and just about anything else that decided it wanted to fight me today. I had to go ahead and do my best to be careful around the Bigfoot there. The one fellow's already lost his arm. But I was out here weed eating, and it seemed like every time I'd dip into the sun, I was about done with the weed eating. To be honest, I didn't want to do it in the first place. So I went ahead and I took me a short break, and I thought to myself, look, I can get one more little area done. No problem. But I think it was also during that break that I decided I'm going to get one more little area done, and then I'm done with this little project. I mean, I feel like I did mention that it was like 250 degrees outside, right? Well, as much fun as that was, I think I am done with that for today. It is way too hot to be out here weed eating. Even over here in the shade, it is hot, but I got a little bit of this area around the lean-to cleaned up. There's definitely still a lot to do. If anybody's out there knows anything about getting big roots up out of, getting stumps and roots up out of the ground, let me know. But this is kind of one of the reasons I can't really get my brush hog too close to these trees in here, because there's just these big stump sticking up out of the ground. I won't find it now. There's another one over here somewhere, maybe right there. But they're also kind of a pain when you're weed eating, because it'll kind of get you all tied up. But again, here's another one. I gotta figure out something. I don't know that the bucket's gonna do any good. Probably even with the tooth bar, it's not gonna do too much good for some of these stumps. But I feel like if I could get some of these big roots and stumps up out of the ground, I could get in here and start mowing this place. But again, here's another one. Just kind of, that one almost looks like it would pop up, but a lot of them are so deep in the ground, I don't think they're going to. All right, well, I'm done with the weed eating for a minute. I might be back out tomorrow or the next day, depending on if it rains or not. But I think we're gonna take the tractor over here for a second. We'll see if we can get in there, but I want to try to poke and prod in there a little bit and see if I can get a trail going down towards the ditch over here, because I really want to start cleaning up that ditch and kind of getting a bigger ditch put in there. So let's see if we can do that before we call it a day. Here we go. I'd really been wanting to get in over here in this area for a while. I kind of opened up a little bit of a trail a couple weeks back. I mentioned that in the other video, but we actually made some pretty good progress and broke on through. I was going really slow through here because I really wasn't sure what was out in front of me. But I was really glad when I ended up poking through here where this little ditch area is at, getting on the other side of this culvert that I've been needing to get on the other side of for a while. So I was trying to get up in there as quickly as closely as I could to the culvert. I was hoping to, at some point in time, get myself a little bit of a road going off of the road so I didn't have to kind of go this back way. But I decided I needed to go ahead and open this thing up as much as I could, because I was kind of planning on coming in from the sides to start digging a ditch. Well, I kind of was having a little bit of trouble getting out of here. I was going to try to open up another path to where I could go straight out instead of having this little hairpin turn that I had. But that spider kind of had other plans. This tree in front of me kind of had other plans. So I kind of had to figure out exactly what I was going to do when I was ready to get out of the woods here. And let me tell you, it was fighting me too. It just didn't want to let me out of the woods. So after I figured out how to get out, I decided I was going to try to go back in, and I was going to try to go a different route so that I could open this place up just a little bit more. But again, if you can imagine, the woods had a different idea. So I ended up going right back the way I very originally started. And I was even starting to make that even worse than what it was. I was really happy to be able to push that tree out of the way. Now, at some point in time, I think I turned off the camera and didn't realize I didn't turn it back on. But shortly after this, I almost flipped my tractor.
Well, folks, I just about flipped the tractor over. I figured that might be time to call it a day. I had half of my bucket full of dirt. It was only one side that I got full of dirt, and then I hit a little bit of a hill. Woo-wee. That was about enough to make me change my drawers there, folks. It's a little bit tight quarters in here where I got to make this turn at, so I'm gonna maybe poke through here next time and see if I can get a straight shot. But I ran into about 4 spiders, so I'm hoping I got them off of me. But again, now that one I just knocked down, but all this stuff in here, that's all from when they came in and mulched. And again, I'm gonna probably complain about that until I don't ever see them again. Oh, that was another little spider web, I think. Anyways, it's kind of tight quarters in here, so I'm gonna see next time if I can poke right through here, kind of give me a good way and a good way in and a good way out. Again, half trees laying in here from the mulching. I don't get it, just because everything I've seen is supposed to kind of destroy everything. So here's where I about flipped over, but I also got to get these sides cleared out. This little hill was giving me a bit of a problem, but I need to get in here from the side and kind of open up a trench kind of like this, and then I'm going to kind of work it like I did here with my tires. Work it down, work it down. Here's a little bit of thunder. Oh, maybe that's a jet. So that when this comes shooting out of here, it kind of goes out that way instead of running down the driveway. Because I mean, man, my driveway is a wreck right now, and I'm not 100% sure what to do to fix it. I feel like I need to be able to get on this side and push that over this way, or kind of get over there and straddle it and drag it back. But as you can see, it's still, I mean, it's still been wet ever since all the rain, so it's a mess. But I tried to give myself a little path here to get in and out of that I'm gonna eventually clean up. But I hit this little hill here with about half a bucket of dirt, and I just about tipped her over, folks. And that's when I figured that was probably going to be the end of my day before I really F around and find out. But I got a trail camera here. I got most of them up. I think there's only one after this one. I think there's only one I don't have up. But anyway, I made it all the way back into here. All this looks pretty easy to clean up. Most of this looks pretty easy to clean up, and I don't know if I had it recorded because this thing kind of goes on and off sometimes on my head, but I pushed a pretty good sized tree out of the way, so I'm kind of hoping I can do that again at some point in time. Let's see here, folks. I don't know. This is that mud road, which is
just kind of a mess. But here's another good example here of whatever this is. Okay, that's just a, I could probably get that up and move it, but I think that's a good example of everything that's right underneath the ground in some of these spots. I think we had one on this tree at one point in time. It's just a little close to the road, so I don't know that that would do us much good. I may clean this tree up just a little bit and put it right here facing straight down this path here. I think that's what I might do. Clean this little area up real quick. Here we go. Got pine sap all over me now. All right, that's shooting right down here, so maybe we'll see something. Here we go. Here's another example, folks. That's practically a whole tree that just got left. I don't know. I'm tired of finding that shit, honestly. But anyway, I kind of got this started. I don't know that I actually got anything really accomplished today. My ears have popped, so I know that I'm tired. It's hot. I almost flipped the tractor, so that's probably a good time to go home. But I think if I kind of do this, even if I do it like 3 more sections here, I think that should give the water somewhere to come down here and get out of there and down the road, and maybe not down the driveway to mess that up anymore. Anyways, it's like 101 degrees out here. I've got more of a mess than I've got anything, really. I hope eventually, again, I'll have a couple days without rain, without too much heat, with you know, give me a spot where I can get in and get some dirt. I did pull up quite a bit of dirt out of that little spot right there, but that's kind of temporary, because I just want to dig a little bit out to give it a little ditch. But anyway, I'm gonna go find me something to eat, get in the air conditioning, and call it a day. Folks, I appreciate you watching along with me. It's gonna be it for day 67. We'll catch you next time.